Hello, it's me. Oh, shit, I left my water at the table. Just a second. Okay, alright, we streaming. How do I sound? Sounds good. Yay! Let's see. Here we are. Oh shit. Let me... Where is my little guy? Here's the tier list. Oh, where's me? Just... Okay. There it goes. I was hidden. Anyway, here I am. Okay. Is it not working properly? It's not letting my mouth close. What is happening? Oh wait, no. I see. For some reason, it keeps registering my webcam as an audio input source sometimes, and I'm not sure why. What? Yeah, sure. Just unplug it or something. Sorry about that. Okay. There it goes. Goodbye, webcam. Okay, so I thought I'd do something a little different today. What? Oh. Anyway, I thought I'd do something a little different today. I'm trying to make a habit of streaming. I've not been great about playing games and stuff. Or, like, the games I have been playing have been on my Switch, and not the PC. There's a lot of stuff I need to play. But I thought it'd be fun to do tier lists. I'm just aping what other people do. Tier lists are fun. This is largely... Actually, it's entirely, like, animated movie opinions, food opinions, and, like, a couple of Pokemon opinions. So things people feel strongly about. Feel free to absolutely rip into my ass if I choose something you don't like. I will defend myself. But we're playing tier lists, and we're starting with something that is almost entirely, like, good stuff, which is Studio Ghibli. Like, I've ranked nothing in any tier yet. Save your heckling for real problems. I'm kidding. I love you. So I've seen a majority of the Studio Ghibli films. I only say a majority. There are several that I haven't seen. Several that I don't know anything about. But I do know which ones I like. Not so we're starting my tiers Spirited Away immediately goes in the first tier, and it's the only one that goes there. It's a movie I've seen so many times that legitimately, my parents quote-unquote lost the DVD when I was a kid. I've gone through it. I've examined all the food. I can quote it. I have many, many feelings and opinions about this film. But let's actually go in order. Because I've got my parents lost the DVD on purpose. Required viewing. Is a good film. It's good. It's alright. Not for me. I don't like it. And I haven't watched it, or I don't want to watch it. Because I have very strong opinions on if a movie makes me cry or is going to make me cry, I do not like it, and I will never watch it again unless it's got a very good reason for me to come back. But we'll get there. Nausicaa. I've seen this one a couple of times. I understand it, but it's genuinely one of those movies where I go like, well, it's just a bunch of stuff that happened. So it's alright. Like, visually, it's really cool. But, you know. All of the Ghibli films have incredible design work in them. That goes without saying. Like, the animals in Nausicaa in particular. Very cool. Castle in the Sky. I haven't watched this one in a while, but I remember really enjoying it. Just, especially for the Sky Pirates. The Sky Pirates are good. And I like them. It is good stuff. My Neighbor Totoro is a movie that was aimed at someone younger than me and with a better attention span than me, mostly in that it's a very, like, it's a pretty chill movie, but in a very, like, this is some kids doing some stuff and going through emotional stuff kind of way. It's very, I'm gonna put it in it's alright because I'm not gonna be mean to it. Grave of the Fireflies, I will not know this man. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to hate myself. Just because it's like a very sad film on purpose. And I respect it. I respect what it's doing. I don't want to watch it. Kiki's Delivery Service. It is good stuff. It's a cute film. It's very sweet and meaningful and casual. It's good. I don't know Only Yesterday. I don't know anything about it. I haven't seen it. If anybody wants to tell me about it, they can. If they have strong opinions about it, they can tell me. Porco Rosso, I don't know much about. I do know about it. I've seen it. I love what it's doing, although I don't remember it much. But I do remember enjoying it, so I need to rewatch it. But for now, it's gonna go in... Good stuff. It's Italian. It hates Nazis. That's what we need. I do not know anything about Ocean Waves. I have not seen Pompoko, although it seems fun. I also have not seen Whisper of the Heart. Princess Mononoke is good. Required viewing. It's got crazy monster animals in it. It's got, like, it's got a complex message about environmentalism. It's good. Like, the brutality of nature versus the caring nature of man, but you can find bits of things in both, etc. It's good. This is another one that I really, really, really need to show some of my, like, friends who haven't seen it. Like, I feel like you do things to certain people's brains. And I need it to. I have not watched My my neighbors, the Yamadas. Seems cute. The Cat Returns is one I rewatched really recently, and it is alright. It's a cute, funny little story, but it's not got like a ton going on, I think. So, Howl's Moving Castle is required viewing. It's great. It's so charming. It's so pretty. It is... I like it a lot. Tales from Earthsea might be the only one that's going in, because it's... Knowing more about Earthsea now, like I learned a lot more about Earthsea after I, like, watched this movie. Like, it was kind of mid, kind of hard to track, and like knowing more about Earthsea and how good it is, how cool Ursula K. Le Guin is, how protective she was of the movie rights, and how she just did not get good adaptations because she got the weird bad live action one, and this, which is not horrible, but I feel like it's not in conversation with the original the way it should be, and it's pretty weird about it. So I'll put that in. Like, the way the villain looks at the end is creepy. That's about all I got to say about it. Ponyo is good. Ponyo is cute. It's got prehistoric sea creatures. It's got ocean god mom. It's got her sad clown husband. And it's got that mom who drives like an insane person. Ponyo is cute. I like Ponyo. Arrietty also goes in that tier. Like, those are the two Ghibli films that I watched with my grandma. And she liked them. Like, they're very charming. Arrietty, again, like, very cute, very visually interesting. It's nice. It's another one where it just felt a little bit like just kind of stuff happening. Like, I understand the through line, but it was I have not seen From Up on Poppy Hill. I also have not seen The Wind Rises. I also haven't seen The Tale of Princess Kaguya, or When Marnie Was There. Sorry, that one was hard to read. Or The Red Turtle. And I'm not going to watch The Earwig and the Witch because I've heard it's really bad. I love how it looks, but I've heard nothing but bad things about The Earwig and the Witch. The other ones I am willing to watch, especially, like, I have no idea what The Red Turtle is. I have no indication on what it's about. The Tale of Princess Kaguya I need to watch, and the others, like Up on Poppy Hill, The Wind Rises, When Marnie Was There, seem, as far as I know, they're a little bit more like slice of lifey. I know kind of the premise of The Wind Rises, but they're ones I'm willing to give a chance if I'm like having a really chill day. Like, the fact that I haven't seen them is obviously no indication of their quality. The Boy and the Heron was good. I think I would need to watch it again. It's the only Ghibli film I've seen in theaters. Obviously, the butch woman with the boat is hot, but, like, I think, like I said, I think I need to watch it again to really get it. Like, I've been trying to wrap my head around it. It's got a lot going on. I really don't understand what's happening with, like, the stepmom. But It's not bad. It's very emotional. It's very thoughtful. But it's one that I'll watch again when I feel like it. But I'd have to give it another watch through to really, like, zero in on it. But it's good. And that's the Ghibli tier list. I know every Ghibli movie is somebody's favorite, but I think I've been fair. What do y'all think? And are there any of these that I haven't seen that I really need to prioritize? Your favorite Ghibli is that one there? You aren't pointing at anything, honey. Points at your screen. Thanks. You've seen... You've seen 2 full Ghibli movies, Spirited Away and The Cat Returns. So, one of these will be your favorite. 3? Wait, what's the third one you've seen? Oh yeah, you've seen Kiki's, just not with me. Kiki's is cute. Okay. Let's slip over to the super huge, big mix of animated movies tier list. Cat Returns is your favorite so far, you think? Yeah, that makes sense. It's cute. It's very charming. And I like it. You two have a crush on the Cat in the Hat. That cat in the hat. Gotta be clear. That's fair. He's a very charming cat. So this is a huge mix of like Disney and other movies. This one I'm going to go through much faster because I'm not gonna have a ton to say about a lot of these. Like the way I've tiered it, I do not know this man for the ones for this one. Put it on anytime. I'll watch it. There's ones that were a childhood staple. I watched it a ton as a kid. There are ones that have their charms. Like, they aren't bad. They're just not for me. There are ones I could sit through that I find... I don't like watching them, but, like, they're inoffensive. There are ones that are just bad. Like, they're mid. They're not appealing to me. And if a kid I was babysitting asked me to put this on, it would inconveniently disappear forever. Which is, I don't want to fucking watch this thing. It's bad. And I do not know this man. Ones that I have not seen or don't know anything about. There are some in here that I remember having watched and remember very little about them other than my general feeling, and I'm willing to look something up to like clarify for myself. Like, there's a bunch of Land Before Time sequels on here, and I've got like spoilers for the next one. The next tier list is a Don Bluth movies and all their sequels and spin-offs list, and if I don't have to look something up here, I will definitely have to look something up there, because a lot of the Land Before Time sequels blend together in my brain. But we're gonna start Fox and the Hound. This one was a childhood staple. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I watched it a lot at my grandmother's house as a kid. I cared very much for the cute little animals. I thought the part when they were like adults and separate was kind of boring, but once you get to like the train and the bear fight and like the intense stuff like that, I was more into it. So I probably won't watch it like whenever, but it was when I watched it a ton as a kid. Hercules. I like it. I was not a Greek mythology kid, so I have no reason to hate it the way some people do. I understand why it is so annoying to some people, but I just think it's fun. It's colorful, the designs are nice. I like it. The Aristocats is boring. I could sit through it, but it's boring. Ice Age Collision Course. For some reason, like, well, with my family and extended family, like friends and stuff, a lot of them don't understand what I like, because if I do tell them what I like, they're like, that's weird. But they get vague impressions of what I like. Aristocats is also racist. Yeah, it's also racist. But my family has like a very vague impression of the stuff I like and what I like to do. And one of the vague impressions they have is I like animated movies. So whenever I would have like somebody who I wasn't super close with ask like, hey, let's go to the movies, they'd pick an animated film, and without fail it'd be like something I didn't really want to see, but it was just whatever was the biggest name animated film that they'd seen trailers for recently. So that's how I ended up seeing Ice Age Collision Course in theaters with a family friend. I didn't hate it, it was just really forgettable and not very good. I also think Snow White is really boring. I haven't seen it since I was a small child, but I was never a huge fan of like Disney princess movies in general. There's like a couple that I like, but the ones that were pastoral and princess focused or like falling in love focused were not my thing. Anyway, Shrek the Third sucks. I watched it, but it sucks. I don't know what Patima Inverted is. I've seen Disney's Three Musketeers, and I don't remember anything about it. I would be willing to give it a second chance, so I could sit through it purely out of curiosity, like if I was babysitting. That's how I was forced to watch like a couple of Monster High movies. The Incredibles is good. I will watch that anytime. There's nothing I can say about The Incredibles that that hasn't already been said. It's good. Toy Story 2 was a big childhood staple for me. I think it's still my favorite out of the Toy Story movies. But is good. Like, it's another movie that like there's not a ton that can be seen. Big Hero 6 was so forgettable. That's another one I saw in theaters, but I saw that one with a friend, and I thought it was okay. The only thing I know about the Three Musketeers is the scene where they're like, we'll save the day or die trying, and Donald is just like, die? That's fair. It's not his girlfriend that got kidnapped. The Prince of Egypt is a very good movie. It is another one I watched many times at my grandma's house as a kid. I don't like rewatching it because when it comes to like music and like a movie trying to wrench emotions out of me, justified or not, I'm made of tissue paper, and so this movie is very sad and scary in like good and impactful and important ways. It's a really good film. I'm putting it in it has its charms, which means it's a really good movie. I just don't want to watch it again. I have not seen The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Shrek 2 is good. It was a childhood staple for me. I liked it a lot more than Shrek 1. Like, Shrek 1 is good. I just prefer Shrek 2. It's way more energetic, I think, is the way to put it. Plus, like, I need a hero. Oh yeah, I've got a Ko-fi if you want to pay me to give my opinions more often. I didn't watch Tinkerbell. All the Tinkerbell movies were after my time. Okay. Land Before Time Journey to Big Water came out when I was like 3 or 4 years old. But for some reason, it's the first one I remember registering, like, this is new and it came out during my lifetime kind of things. Or like it wasn't already out. I remember, like, these must be extremely early memories. I remember seeing trailers for it and pretty much already being kind of unimpressed with it. Just because I was so fond of the earlier movies, and this one was like, it had a Liopleurodon, which is my favorite dinosaur, and it didn't show up much. And I do not know. Well, I know why. It's for selling toys and being more visually interesting to the 2000s kids. But I don't know why they insisted on making the like the Ichthyosaurus annoying and bright yellow and purple. And it's the first one I remember not being very fond of. Finding Dory was okay. I could sit through it again. It's another one I saw. I saw that one with my family. Like, it was eh. Ralph Breaks the Internet is fucking horrible. I saw it on a date, and the best thing my date had to say about it was, like, pointing at one of the advertisements, one of the million advertisements in that movie, and saying, like, I watched that. Or, not saying I watched it, saying I work there. I just thought it was really, really fucking annoying and bad. Encanto is good. Also, I'm personally invested in Wreck-It Ralph. It's good. So, a bad sequel is even worse. Encanto is good. It's going in, it has its charms in that it's probably not one I'm gonna rewatch a bunch. But, like, I appreciate what it was doing. And it's again, it's another very emotionally present film. I'm actually gonna say... There you go. More accurate tier. Would you rewatch Encanto if you watch it with me so I can see it? Yeah, I'd rewatch it. Like, I'm not opposed to rewatching it. It's not one I'd probably put on again on my own, but it's good, and I think you'd like it. Excuse me. Moana's alright. I wasn't super crazy about it. It has its charms. It does not make me cry like a fool. It's just alright. Obviously, it's got the crab that everybody loves in it. I could watch Cinderella more than I could watch Snow White, but I also think it's really mid. But we all know how I feel about, like, princess stuff now. I just think it's okay. Dumbo is one I found emotionally distressing as a child. It was okay. It's mid. I could sit through it, I guess. It's also got the racist crows, but, like, just for the weird factor, I could rewatch it. Mulan is good. I like Mulan. It's one of the 2 Disney princess movies I really, really like. I am non-binary. Last Unicorn. It's not one I watched until I was older. but it's got its charms. Like, it's good. I like this movie. It's very fun. Like, I really like most of the Rankin Bass catalog that I've seen, and I especially find their 2D stuff charming. Like, Land Before Time and Rankin Bass, like, the kind of uglier the designs are, I really like on those animated films. Like, my Lord of the Rings movies were the Rankin Bass ones. And the Ralph Bakshi one. Over the Hedge, I could sit through it. I remember it being okay. It's not one I, like, put on willingly. I think I saw it in theaters as a kid. But it was one of those that, like, for some reason became a go-to for, like, if we had movie day at school or whatever. Didn't watch Tinkerbell. Anastasia has its charms. It's okay. I really love the villain song. I never remember a ton about it other than thinking, it's alright. It's a princess movie. The Jungle Book is one I could sit through. It's got a lot of charms. It wasn't a childhood staple, but it was good. Megamind is really good, and I need to rewatch it. I keep thinking that, because I really like it. Sword in the Stone is another one that I would be willing to rewatch, if not purely out of curiosity. So I can sit through it. It's not one I don't think I've ever, like, seen it all in one go. Beauty and the Beast has its charms. It's good. I think it's like my third favorite Disney princess film. And I had, like, a phase where I was really into it. But, like, I don't know. It tops other princess movies. That's for sure. I don't know Kumba. And I don't know Bungo Straw Dogs, although I think that one's on a list of stuff I should watch. It's somewhere. Oh my god. I actually have seen Alpha and Omega for some reason, and I don't remember hating it. I just remember thinking it was super mid. I think it's one my brother picked out at Redbox once. I know the sequels get fucking wild, though. Mulan 2 is bad. Like, I'll watch it purely for the... I like the romances between the princesses and, like, Mulan's little friends, but I kind of hate the rest of it, so... I don't know. I'll just think about it sometimes, and that'll be my positive association with it. Otherwise, if a kid wants to watch this, no. I remember watching Leroy and Stitch because I was really into Lilo and Stitch as a kid, but I liked the series, and I liked the original movie, and basically everything else I just immediately erased out of my brain. I thought it was so forgettable. I could sit through Mickey's Christmas thing, again, because it's one I don't remember very well. I remember watching it. Heaven forbid I don't remember it. Chicken Run is good. That was another one I watched a lot at my grandma's house, and I need to watch it more. Like, that's another one I need to show you, honey, because it's so good. Basically every Aardman film I've seen I really enjoyed, too. I have not seen the Tom and Jerry movie. I've heard it's bad. The Black Cauldron was so disappointing. Like, it's bad. It needed to be more atmospheric, it needed to be scarier, it needed a lot of things instead of what it got, which was really boring. But there's a reason I associate a lot of 70s and 80s fantasy with being really boring. And Madagascar is fun. I watched it a lot as a kid. It's Madagascar. Genuinely, Cinderella 3 is pretty good. Like, I want to watch it again. I wouldn't say childhood staple. It has its charms. I've watched it. I remember when it came out, I watched it and thought, like, this is really fun. I really like it. For some reason, I am stuck on the human design of the cat, Lucifer. It's fun. 101 Dalmatians is alright. It's fun. It's just kind of a kids movie. I'll be honest, I really like Incredibles 2. I know it's got a lot of problems. It's not nearly as good as the first Incredibles, but I find it really charming. I really like the sort of energy it brought out when it first came out. Don't watch this movie if you are sensitive to flashing lights at all. Like, it's really, really bad about that. Like, I really hope that somebody out there has made, like, an edit of it to make it not really horrible to watch. Because I'm sure you could pretty easily do that, but, like, any scene where, like, the guy who hypnotizes people is on screen, there's a lot of flashing black and white lights. And that's a problem. I also, thankfully, don't hate the, like, I think the plot twist is kind of dumb once you get to it, but, like, I don't hate the new heroes that they introduce the way some people do. Little Mermaid's alright. If we're, again, going through, like, Disney princess movies, I think it's my 4th favorite. But that doesn't mean it's great. It's not for me. It's a princess film. The major appeal is that it takes place in the ocean. I think I remember liking the TV series better than I liked the movie. I'm gonna defend myself. Brother Bear is a childhood staple. I watched it a lot as a kid. That doesn't necessarily mean I watch it now. I just thought it looked nice. I thought it was fun. I think, like, the hijinks are a little too much. Like, and obviously it's part of, like, that unpleasant trend Disney had where they turned every main character of color into an animal for some reason. But I think what it's going for, like what it's got to say, is really good. And yeah, like especially the brothers' conflict in it it's important to me. Also, I had the Game Boy game, and I have another copy of it that I need to see if I can get working, maybe, or if we can find a working copy of it. Because I had that game as a kid, and when my brother was like 2, he erased like all of my data, and I had nearly beaten the game, and I was so mad, and I never finished it. I was like 6 at the time. I think the same day he did that, I ate a battery. So, like, who knows if it was good, but it's meaningful. Home on the Range is not great, but it was a childhood staple. I liked it a lot as a kid. I thought it was fun, I thought it was charming, and I still listen to the Randy Quaid cattle rustling, yodeling song. And in fact, that guy, a good chunk of that guy's design was an inspiration for Adelaide. So it gave me that. Tarzan is good. It wasn't a childhood staple, but I did watch it more than some other Disney movies. And while I think it's got some drier parts, I like it. If we get my copy of Brother Bear for the GBA fix and you get another battery, will we have come full circle? We have to do it before I turn 27. So we have 20 days. 21 days. It has to be one of those little flat silver batteries. They taste zappy. Story 3 is good. You know, I'm gonna upgrade it to... No, it's gonna stay there, because, like, I wouldn't put it on any time, but I would rewatch it. It's a good movie. Like, it was the perfect way to end the Toy Story series. Okay, I'm gonna have to look up what the Time of the Great Giving Land Before Time movie was, because I don't remember anything about that one. Oh, it's the one with the stupid bullies. Let me look up a plot synopsis real quick. Again, I don't remember what's happening in this one. Meteorites, drought. Bully. Wildfire. Okay, so it seems like a Land Before Time movie. I watched it a lot as a kid. It's another one I'd be really willing to rewatch. I'd be willing to rewatch a lot of those Land Before Time movies. I thought Madagascar 2 was alright. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't, like, great. Let's see. Book of Life is good. It's not a watch it anytime movie, but it's really good. I always recommend it. I think it's a lot of fun. Poor fucking Manolo, his whole fucking family dies in that movie, and I think it's still so good, and I can't remember the name of the artist, but, like, I love his design work. Lilo and Stitch the movie is alright. It's, I don't remember much about it, but it led into the series, so I thought it was, like, good as a thing for that. I don't know Mirai. I haven't seen any of the Tinkerbell movies. Secret of NIMH is good. It was kind of a childhood staple. It came to me later than, like, for some reason I saw the second one of that one and American Tail, like, first. And the sequel is really bad, but in, like, just a bafflingly funny way compared to the first one. It is complete tonal whiplash, which I almost respect. Almost. But it's so good and scary. It's like, yes, hey kid, you want to feel real, genuine, like, existential horror? Think about being a mouse, and your whole family's about to drown in mud. Robots is good. Robots is really good. It's not a put it on anytime movie, but I liked it as a kid, and I've grown to appreciate it more as an adult, even with the big booty ant. And Goofy movie is good. I haven't seen it many times. It's been a long time. It has its charms, but it's not like a anytime movie. But it's better than I could just sit through a movie. I don't know Ride Your Wave, Tinkerbell film. Oh god, how many of those do they fucking make? Wallace and Gromit Curse the Were-Rabbit is good. I need to rewatch it. And I need to watch the new Wallace and Gromit movie. As somebody who really likes some of the other DreamWorks 2D movies from this era, Sinbad is so mid. The monsters are kinda cool, I guess. The CGI is not well integrated. And I thought it was kinda dull. Scooby-Doo, Curse the Loch Ness Monster, mid. I was a big Scooby-Doo fan. That's another one that came out right at the age where I was like, this is no longer charming. Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs. I could sit through it. It's alright. It's got dinosaurs in it. It uses a baryonyx, which you basically never see, which I think is kind of neat. How to Train Your Dragon 2 is alright. It's got its charms. I really love Lilo and Stitch. I'm only putting it there first because I have to scroll up. Lilo and Stitch is so good. I had a birthday party about it when I was a kid. It's really good, and it's only, like, stayed really good over the years. I have not seen My Little Pony and the something something rainbow. A lot of these are really small. Barbie and the Diamond Castle. Don't know you. Up is good. It is a childhood staple. Not an anytime movie, but it's very good. It's another one my grandma likes. It's one that once my dad had to apologize to me because we were on a vacation and I was finishing reading a book for school. And I cried at the end of the book. And my dad made fun of me. And I don't know if my mom yelled at him or if he just realized that I don't know if he just realized that he was being kind of an asshole, but he came up to me and was like, hey, I'm sorry I made fun of you for crying at the end of that thing. I cry at the beginning of Up, so it's okay. Up is good, down is bad, let your cats on your furniture. Yes. Finding Nemo is a childhood staple. It's good. I nearly, when my brother was born, my parents let me pick his middle name, and I gave them two options for my two favorite movies at the time. Finding Nemo was a favorite, and Jurassic Park 3 was a favorite. I was 6, and I said, well, you can name him Sharkbait, or you can name him Alan. So his middle name is Alan. Barbie and the Nutcracker. It was one I watched a lot as a kid, but I have rewatched it as an adult, and it's not nearly as good as it was then. Madagascar 3, I remember thinking it was alright. I could sit through it. Is that the volleyball anime? Oh, I haven't seen that. I like the Fantastic Mr. Fox. It's not an anytime movie, but it really has its charms. I need to rewatch it. I thought Onward was okay. I thought the emotional impact of it, as an older sibling, like, it giving, like, a single inch to older siblings, like a lot of movies don't do, I thought was very nice of it, thank you. But otherwise it was okay. Swan Princess. That was a childhood staple. I don't remember it being great, but I thought the monster was cool, and I remember enjoying it. I watched it several times. Shrek has its charms. It's not my favorite. Oh wait, no. That's Shrek Forever After. Never mind. I haven't seen you. Every time I've tried to watch it, I've gotten about 20 minutes in to that point where Shrek starts screaming at his family, and I have to nope out right then. Swan Princess sucks. What does IRC mean? I'm realizing I don't know what it means. I loved it so much as a kid. Yeah, it's not good, but it was a childhood staple. If I recall correctly. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. I know they made like a bunch of weird sequels. I've never seen any of them. Peter Pan. I don't like it. I know it's got its charms, but it's so racist. And, like, I always thought it was kind of boring. I wouldn't disappear it forever. Actually, I'm putting it there. It wouldn't disappear forever, but I would lose it, quote unquote, while I was babysitting if some kid wanted to watch it. Just, like, open the thing and, like, put the disc in my pants and be like, sorry, it's not here, and then, like, put it back when they weren't looking. Haven't seen the My Little Pony movies. Barbie: A Christmas Carol. Haven't seen it. Cars... Is that just the first Cars, or is that Cars 3? Let me check. Yeah, that's Cars 3. Peter Pan ends with all the Lost Boys going to London to grow up, and Peter Pan 2 has all the Lost Boys back in Neverland inexplicably. I totally forgot that part. I just remembered that they had a dog named Nana, and I had a plush named Nana Puppy, and I would just, like, I found that part nice, because I also had a stuffed toy named Nana. Cars 3 is another one. Like, it's in the same boat as the last Ice Age movie. Like, I got taken to see that as an adult by, like, a family friend. It was okay. I remember how much people were making fun of it beforehand because the director was a huge douchebag about it, but, like, I thought it was okay. I liked it better than I thought I would. There's, like, a scene with a demolition derby and, like, just a... It's what I am recalling of this is a butch school bus that was just there to kick ass, and I thought that was pretty funny. I don't love the original Rescuers movie. I'll upgrade it to I could sit through it. I think I can appreciate it now more as an adult. And no worries. It's not bad. I just thought it was kind of boring compared to the second one as a kid. But I think I would appreciate the villain a lot more now. Also, I'm gonna make a joke. Peter Pan ends with the Lost Boys going to London to grow up. In 2, they're all back for no reason. It's because they found out they were gonna get drafted into World War I, and they decided not to. They decided they were better off back in Neverland. It's harrowing child endangerment and not fun about it, but it's good in as an artsy film for adults. Yeah, that's 100% fair. Like, it wasn't fun to watch as a kid, but I think now it'd be better. Coco is an extremely good movie that makes me cry like a fool. I watched it twice. I watched it twice, like 2 days in a row. One day alone, one day with my parents, and I cried both times. Anyway, I could sit through the original Ice Age. It's ugly, and I think it's worn out its welcome, but I could sit through it. Like, it's not terrible, and the sequels are weird. I really like Coraline. It is a pretty much anytime movie. It was a childhood staple. I liked the book. I like the movie. It is real good. It's one of those things where I would long to make something like with the kind of vibe it has. Secret of Saurus Rock. That's the one with the lone dinosaur, I think. I rewatched that one sometime in 2020 because I had a friend who was occasionally, like, watching Don Bluth sequels on stream with everybody, and that's the only Land Before Time movie we watched, and it was okay. The little niece and nephew are annoying, but there's something, like, about the older Land Before Time movies that, like, I like so much. I haven't seen Demon Slayer, although the way people talk about it, I've, like, finally decided to put it on my list of stuff to watch. But the first anime on my stuff to watch list that I'm watching is Nichijou. Rango has its charms. I won't say it's great, but there's a lot of stuff I really like about Rango. Like, say what you will. There's a lot of stuff I really like. WALL-E goes up into childhood staple. It's good, I like it, I am not as attached to it as some people are, but I think it's a lovely film, and unfortunate what it has to say about the human characters, but like, it's so cute. I'm not watching My Hero Academia and you can't make me. A Bug's Life is alright. I'd be willing to give it another shot. It wasn't a childhood staple. I did watch it several times as a kid, but mostly it scared me a lot. I was terrified of the birds for some reason. Like, out of all the things I watched. I would come home and be like, cool, Jurassic Park 3, dinosaurs eating people, cool. The birds in Bug's Life, horrifying. Maquia, haven't seen it. I could sit through Zootopia. I liked it when it came out, but the longer it's been out, like, mixed with the state of the world and the missed potential it had, it has not aged. It aged like milk, basically, a year after it came out. Or within a year of it coming out, like, it just from the propaganda angle. I haven't seen Soul. I know it's pretty good, but I feel like it'd make me cry like a fool. Shrek has its charms. It was a movie I watched a lot as a kid, but the longer I've, known about it, the more I've thought it's It's not bad. It's extremely good at what it does. Mickey's, what does that say? I'm like leaning into my screen and squinting, but it's pixelated, so I really can't tell what that says. It's some Mickey Christmas movie. Let me try and look up what that is. I want to judge it fairly. Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. Okay, yeah, no, this isn't one I've seen or care about. Is that the Christmas Carol one with Scrooge McDuck? I don't think it is. It's not. It's just an anthology of, like, Christmas stuff. I guess I could... wait, I haven't seen it. I'd be willing to sit through it. Barbie Fairytopia Mermaidia. I never saw the first one. I didn't know about it. It's just one I had. I had the Barbie mermaid doll because I didn't have a lot of Barbies that I liked to play with. I had one that I accidentally got gum stuck in its hair and, like, gave it a haircut, and it had, like, futuristic clothes on. They were, like, that really Y2K, like, clear yellow plastic kind of look. And I had the mermaid doll because I was really into mermaids. And Selkies and stuff. But I thought Mermaidia was okay. I'd be willing to sit through it again. I don't know what's going on in there. I know it's got that weird turtle everybody makes fun of. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is incredible. Put it on anytime. Can't say anything about it that other people haven't. Road to El Dorado is a childhood staple. I love it. It's got a lot of charm and a lot of weirdness, and I think it's good. And that's really all there is to say about it. I would rewatch it. Not anytime, but I would rewatch it. Atlantis, I would watch anytime. I rewatched it very recently, in fact. It's one of my favorite animated films. I think a lot of people would agree it's like one of the best, like, serious Disney films for their animated stuff. I think it's paced like a panic attack is what I said last time I watched it, and that it goes insanely quickly to make up for its like, time, but it's still really good. Corpse Bride is a childhood staple. I watched it a lot as a kid. I watched a lot of those kind of gothy stop motion, you know, Tim Burton films. And I remember liking Corpse Bride a lot. The music was fun. The characters are fun. I love the whole climax of the film. It's good. That's another one that I think you would like, honey. If you haven't seen it. Sleeping Beauty is boring. I always thought it was boring. Not even the dragon could save it. You've seen Corpse Bride? Yeah. Nice. That's another one for the, like, volleyball anime. Barbie and a Mermaid Tale. Haven't seen it. Frozen is so overhyped. Like, I thought it was okay when it came out. And like, the movie itself has not lost quality. It's fine. I don't like the trend it started with Disney, and I'm so burnt out on it. Being a person who was already a teenager when it came out, like, I'd lose it. Rise of the Guardians is forgettable. It's way more forgettable than it should be. Like, people who want to fuck Jack Frost or Santa or whatever like it, but that's about all it's got going for it. It's pretty boring, and the villain's not even cool looking. He's not even sexy. Pocahontas, bad. I rewatched it at some point in college, and I already thought it was kind of boring as a kid, and I liked it even less as an adult. Like, I think the best way I've heard people describe it is, like, it being, like, real award bait kind of stuff. You know, when people who aren't in a minority group decide to make a movie about a minority group, and they just do a really bad job about it, that's Pocahontas. Brave is mid and forgettable. Like, I almost wanted to be a contrarian when I was younger and say it was okay, but it was Barbie Princess School or whatever, haven't seen it. I have not seen The Wish Dragon, although I've heard it's pretty good. Like, a lot of the biggest criticism I've seen of it is, like, this is just Aladdin, but, like, straight up, it's just Aladdin, and they were very much trying to say, like, this is not Aladdin. And it is, but it's good, from what I've heard, so I'd watch it. Raya is mid. People have ripped into it enough. It could have been cool, but it wasn't. Inside Out is good. It's not a childhood staple, but, like, I remember crying in the theater when I saw it, but I'd be willing to watch it again, and I do need to watch the second one. Land Before Time and the Great Long Neck Migration, I believe, is the one where he meets his dad. It was okay. I'd be willing to sit through it again. Ants is one that, like, I think in, like, second or third grade, a teacher put it on, and it was, I didn't really understand it. I just saw, like, the war scene with the termites and the part where, like, the main character picks up somebody's, like, severed head and it keeps talking to him, and I thought that was so horrifying that I remembered that part of it for years and years, and I rewatched it a while back, and I thought it was okay. Like, I could watch it again. It's something. It's a movie that gave me nightmares as a child. The Tigger movie, if I've seen it, I don't remember seeing it. I haven't seen Red Shoes. I need to give it a shot. It really got fucked over in the advertising department, from what I've heard, and it's actually pretty good. Kung Fu Panda 3 is okay. I could sit through it. I haven't seen Frozen 2, and I have no intention to. Happily Never After is one I remember, like, hearing about when it came out and possibly starting, but I don't think I ever actually watched it. Kung Fu Panda 2 is good. It's not an anytime movie, but it's good, and I need to rewatch it. Barbie Magic of the Rainbow, haven't seen it. James and the Giant Peach is a childhood staple. It's not an anytime movie. I promise no other no other tier list is this long. But, James and the Giant Peach is a childhood staple. I love it. It's weird. It's got some, like... It's weird. It's kind of spooky. It's kind of ugly. It's the exact sort of movie that I adored as a kid. And one time on a video date, the person I was watching it with, like, made me turn it off, like, halfway through. Made me turn it off halfway through because she thought it was dumb and didn't make sense. And you know what, X? You have bad taste. This will be a fast one since the streamer before starting a tier list with 50 million movies. I realized I have more to say about these than I thought. Land Before Time and the Mysterious Island is the second best one. Like, childhood staple. Sure, maybe not any time, but it's the second best one. Hell yeah. We actually, like, broke out our tape of it and watched it a while back. Box Trolls was super mid and forgettable. I think the main villain eats a piece of cheese and literally explodes to death because he's lactose intolerant. That's it. Ratatouille, childhood staple. Not an anytime movie, but I love cooking, and you can expect that. Never saw Fox and the Hound 2. Aladdin is another, like, it has its charms movie. It's one of the Disney films I watched more. Ant Bully is, I would lose it. It's gross. It's scary. There's a scene where they're, like, in the stomach of a frog or whatever, and there's these two bugs that are talking to him, and, like, one of them is just, like, barely head above water, never really says anything, and at the end of the scene, the kid, like, the other bug, like, bumps it and realizes the guy has been dissolved from the neck down, and it did the same shit to me that ants did, except I was slightly older. It was fucking scary, and I hated it. Barbie Island Princess. Never seen it. Cars 2 is bad. It's another one I got dragged to see in theaters because my brother was obsessed with Cars, and I think he was like 9 or 10 when this came out. I don't know what this movie is. The text is too small. Barbie Dancing, haven't seen it. The Croods, I saw in theaters with a friend, and it was okay. I would be willing to watch it again. Your Name, haven't seen it. Watership Down is not a childhood staple, and not an anytime movie, but it's really good. I read the book recently, and I think I prefer the movie, but it's purely because, like, the guy who narrated the book was really dry about it, but I think the reason they get that guy to narrate the books that he does, because I also listen to him narrate all of, like, the Divine Comedy, is that he's extremely good at pronouncing things. And really boring otherwise, like, no emotion. I would say, like, I could sit through Cars again, I guess. But it's almost a, like, if I was babysitting and they asked me to put it on, I'd lose it movie purely for oversaturation, because I had a younger brother and a younger cousin that watched that movie 5 billion times. But it's been long enough, I've healed. I could sit through it. I'm willing to rewatch an extremely goofy movie. I remember seeing it before I saw the original Goofy movie. It was okay. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs was a childhood staple. I liked it quite a bit. Again, it's got food stuff. I don't know if it holds up that great, but it's good. Barbie Mariposa, don't know it. Turning Red was extremely good. It ended up, like, making me have a lot of feelings about my relationship with my family. It's very charming. It's not an Anytime movie, but, like, I cried. I cried. Pirate Fairy, haven't seen it. Shark Tale is... It's bad. But I could sit through it. Just because it's so weird. Like, it's not deeply... It's deeply unpleasant, but in a, like, I can't look away from this kind of way. It's another one that my teachers kept putting on during movie days. Hunchback of Notre Dame has its charms. It's not one I like to watch a lot, but I respect it artistically. Lady and the Tramp is okay. It's really forgettable. I don't remember most of the plot of that movie. I remember the spaghetti scene. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is fun because the main guy fakes having a peanut allergy to impress a girl and gets called out later about how dumb that is. Yeah, I think that's so funny. Like, when somebody lies to impress someone, but about something completely inconsequential and stupid. Like, that's funny. My Little Pony the movie. Haven't seen it, do want to. I'm curious about the Smooze. Lady and the Tramp also has racism cats moment, and the main villain is a random rat. Oh, don't forget a random rat and a lady who doesn't like dogs. That's it. Epic, I remember seeing in theaters and having some thoughts about it, but it was pretty forgettable. I was kind of starved for content at that point. Dinosaur is bad, but it was a childhood staple. I was just violently consuming anything that had dinosaurs in it at a certain age. And the ride at Disney scared me a lot. The Ugly Duckling and Me. What is that? I don't know what that is. I just think the person who made this list liked that volleyball anime. Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron. It has its charms. It is one I watched a couple of times as a kid, but thought was a little too boring and a little too serious. I appreciate it artistically now. I think it's good. Not one I would watch a lot, but like it gets overlooked a lot. Barbie Fairytopia, I already said it. I hadn't seen it. Lion King is a good movie. Not one I watched a million times as a kid, but it was good. Barbie Swan Lake. I remember watching it as a kid, and I would be willing to watch it again. Land Before Time, Journey Through the Mists. Childhood staple. I remember it more clearly than others because I really liked the crocodile, or like the Suchomimus thing that couldn't see very well. I thought the whole movie had kind of a weird atmosphere that I enjoyed. I haven't seen the new Grinch. Don't want to watch it. Looks stupid. Lion King 1.5. Childhood staple. It's weird. It's so good. It's so funny. Like, I watched a video essay recently about like whether or not Timon was like Jewish coded, and it had like a lot of interesting stuff going on, but like the conclusion it came to was like, yeah, there's a lot of things that you could point to, like whether it's good or bad coding, but like also I just selected a lot of random jokes. There's a lot of other random jokes. This doesn't mean anything. Anyway, video over basically. I could watch Lion King 2 again. I didn't think it was great. It was okay. Meet the Robinsons was a childhood staple. It's wacky. It's really good. I like it. I rewatched it recently. The Wild was bad. Like, it was bad. I would watch it again out of pure morbid curiosity, but I remember it being bad. Land Before Time, Great Valley Adventure, I think I have technically seen once, but I don't remember it well enough. Like, I remember mostly seeing trailers for it, so unfortunately it does have to go and I don't know this man. We know where we put Howl's Moving Castle. It's good. It's basically an anytime movie. It's charming. I want to go sit on a beautiful hill and eat cheese and bread and meat and like walk around. Silent Voice, haven't seen it. Ice Age, Continental Drift. I guess I'd be willing to watch it again. I don't remember much about it. I like one of the pirate prehistoric animals is a Procoptodon. The Rescuers Down Under was a childhood staple. I need to watch it again because I was there for the animals. I was there for Joanna the Goanna. I thought it was very harrowing. I thought the bird was kind of boring, but like it's so interesting as a movie. It's so pretty. I have not seen The Boss Baby and I don't want to. It sounds scary. I have seen Home. I think it gets slightly more hate than it deserves, but like I've also seen what the book is like, so I don't blame people who dislike this version. I haven't seen the Teen Titans movie. I liked Teen Titans, but I never watched a ton of it. I should rewatch it. Toy Story is a childhood staple. It's good. I thought it was scary as a kid. I liked Toy Story 2 better. There's a morbid fascination angle to it, and Woody's such a dick, it's kind of funny. But yeah, I don't know what this is. I haven't seen it. Lilo Stitch 2. Stitch has a glitch. Again, I thought it was really forgettable. Ice Age The Meltdown. This one was a childhood staple. I rewatched it a couple months ago and I thought it was alright. Certainly not the worst of the Ice Age movies. Oh yeah, that's the I don't know this man tier. Minions. I think I've technically seen it. It's not good, but like I thankfully had my younger sibling and cousins and stuff had like outgrown the Minion, were like just old enough that the Minions craze didn't eat them alive. So like I've mostly seen it through irony. Romeo and Juliet I've seen once and I thought it was pretty boring. I remember my parents like, I watched it in middle school, but like, or sometime in high school a teacher put it on, but I know in middle school a teacher tried to put it on at a different point. And I was like, hey, I'm not allowed to watch this movie. And they were like, why? And I was like, my parents say that it's like gay propaganda or whatever. Because that thing was going around. Man, I'm really glad like that they didn't really go off the deep end. Open Season is bad. I watched it several times as a kid, but it was bad. Haven't seen Toy Story 4. Maybe someday. I don't know. I don't really feel an interest in it. Stone a Cold Fire, childhood staple. It's got that weird song in it. It's got Uncle Toronto and the Rainbow Nose guys. Uncle Toronto, Vic's first sexy man, I guess. Never saw Bambi 2. An American Tail is not one I saw until I was like much older. It's got its charms. It's really good. I need to rewatch it. It's so cool. Like, I've never seen a movie depict the time. Like, I've never seen a movie like depict the issues that you would have being like, you know, a Jewish immigrant in the 1800s. Let alone like, and I think it's kind of, it's so dedicated to its time period in a way that I think is really cool, that it's even got the like the Lady Liberty before she was like, when she was still copper, like looking like golden, and I think that's really cool. Barbie and the Pegasus. I think I had the Pegasus toy, but I didn't watch the movie. I didn't know they made a Sherlock Gnomes movie. I'm curious. Land Before Time, childhood staple, anytime movie because it's really cool to look at and interesting and weird. Like, Jenny Nicholson in her ranking video of the Land Before Time movies said that the first one's so gummy. And they are. They're really squishy and wrinkly dinosaur designs, but there's something about that that's so charming. Bambi is boring. Bambi is really boring. Emperor's New Groove is good. I loved it a lot as a kid. It was a childhood staple. I don't know if it's an anytime movie, but it's really good. Kung Fu Panda. It's good. Not technically a childhood staple, but it has its charms. It's good. It's one of those that, like, when it first came out, I thought it was kind of cringe, but it's grown on me. I would be willing to rewatch the Disney Robin Hood movie. I don't remember loving it as a kid, though. It's another one that I just, like, also randomly thought was kind of boring. Quest for Camelot was a childhood staple, but that does not mean it's good. Like I've said, like, these are just ones I have a nostalgic fondness for. The dragons could have been cooler. I was always disappointed by the fact they didn't show a lot of cool dragons. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird one. Barbie, Princess and the Pauper, I did watch as a kid. I'd be willing to rewatch it out of pure curiosity. More volleyball anime! How to Train Your Dragon, the third one, I thought was pretty mid. Like, I didn't like our dragon gets a girlfriend and then we can never see him again movie. It's weird. Tales of Despero. I don't remember much about it. I'd be willing to rewatch it. I could sit through it. I don't remember it being awful, but I remember that movie came out like a year or two after I read Tale of Despero for school. And I remember the book itself was like really interesting and cool and depressing. Like, cool, I mean in the, like, artistic way, I guess, but, like, the movie was strange. How to Train Your Dragon. And I'm very picky about my watch it anytime movies. How to Train Your Dragon was a childhood staple. I loved it when it came out. It was really nice. It was one of the ones that my grandma really liked, so I could watch it with her all the time. She actually, like, I think How to Train Your Dragon 2 was the only movie where she ever was like, hey, let's all go to the theater and see this as a family. And that's very charming to me. And it's just a good movie. Tangled is better than people give it credit for, but it's still just alright. Like, it has its charms. Actually, yeah, I'll watch it. I could watch it again. My opinion is, like, colored by liking the series as much as I did. Pinocchio, I could sit through, or I'm gonna put it in It Has Its Charms, because I remember Pinocchio just scaring the shit out of me as a kid. Like, the donkey scene specifically, like, does straight up, like scare me still, kind of, just because it's got, like, you know, stuff about it, you know? Ponyo has its charms. It's good. It wasn't a childhood staple, but I like it a lot. And I don't know that it's an everyday movie, but it's a very, very good movie. I have talked about it elsewheres. Princess and the Frog is my second favorite Disney princess film. And I watched it a lot when it came out. You tell me this is Southern, it's got an alligator, it's got cooking, it's got, you know, like the whole thing, but cooking. I really like it. Barbie Diaries, haven't seen it. I think that's the one that, like, I recently watched somebody review literally all of the Barbie movies and was like, why is Barbie such an asshole in this one? Barbie Rapunzel was a childhood staple. It was one of it's about her, like, painting and being an artist and stuff, and it had a fun little dragon in it. I remember having the dragon toy, and I really liked it. It's probably pretty shitty, but I also haven't seen it since I was, like, 11, so, eh. Barbie Thumbelina, haven't seen it. Planes. That is another one that I got dragged to see at the theaters with my family. It was pretty forgettable. I literally get it and its sequel constantly mixed together. So, eh. Bolt is bad. I don't want to watch Bolt. I think it's stupid. I also don't want to watch Happy Feet. I think it's also bad. It's ugly and weird. I've seen, unlike, you know, Cars or Frozen or whatever, or not Frozen, unlike Cars, where I had, like, a sibling, you know, and a cousin who they're about the same age, like, not quite the same age, but they're, like, 2 or 3 years apart, who were obsessed with Cars, like, they didn't drive it into the ground for me. Polar Express was that movie. I think for at least a year, they had that movie on every single day. And so I already don't like it very much. I think it's ugly and kind of boring. I have a visceral dislike for it. Alice in Wonderland was not a childhood staple, but it was one of the Disney movies I remember seeing at least bits and pieces of fairly frequently, and I thought it was pretty charming. Like, just for all the puns and the weirdness. I'm not watching My Hero Academia. Why did it even get 2 movies? I haven't seen Legends of the Guardians. I'm willing to watch it, though. I love Treasure Planet. Treasure Planet was a childhood staple movie. I've gotten old enough that I find the robot just slightly annoying enough that it's not an anytime movie, but it's really good. It's another one that I found, like, very inspiring. At some point I should just make, like, a little collection of, you know, movies where, like, if you want to know anything you need to know about the art I'm making, it's those. Barbie Three Musketeers, didn't watch it. Land Before Time and The Big Freeze was another childhood staple that I don't remember much about. I only remember, like, there was a thing about, like, water that was, like, the way they animated, like, boiling water or, like, you know, water that was supposed to be hot enough to be dangerous was that it was, like, pink. And I always thought that was kind of weird, but it was a very good contrast. Wreck-It Ralph, good. Wreck-It Ralph, childhood staple movie. Wreck-It Ralph, influential on my social life on the internet. I saw Sing once. It was okay. I guess I could sit through it again. I've heard the sequel is actually better than the first one, and I'm tempted to watch that. But anyway, we did it. I ranked all of these animated movies. I'm gonna take a quick break to get a drink of water, and then I'll be right back. Sorry, I forgot to unmute. I was saying, like, I realize this is a pretty weird list because it's got, like, it's got a lot of, like, all the, like, big name animated movies, but, like, I think you can tell, like, the taste of the person who made it to an extent, or at least just what they're familiar with, because there's a lot of, like, more obscure animated movies or that I'm, like, surprised are missing, or, like, there's certain ones that I'm surprised aren't on here. You know, it seems a little random which ones are or not. Anyway, okay, Don Bluth movies and sequels. I haven't seen this one. I haven't seen the small one. Like, Don Bluth movies generally I preferred over... Don Bluth movies and sequels I generally preferred over Disney films as a kid. So I've seen most of them. I also haven't seen Banjo the Woodpile Cat, though. Secret of NIMH. Super good. Super weird. American Tail is not, like, my favorite, but it is really good. I need to rewatch it. The thing I keep thinking about is, like, the parody of the real thing that happened where at, like, somebody's funeral a politician comes in and, like, marks off that guy should like note that guy should vote for him in the next election or whatever, because that was a thing politicians did. They would, like, fake votes by using the names of people who were dead. Land Before Time, near perfection. Perfect. Wonderful child film. So upsetting. I will also say the same thing about All Dogs Go to Heaven. It's a fever dream of a movie, but it's so fucking good. Rock-a-Doodle is weird. Why is it like that? Like, the mix of live action, the fact that it's, like, a take on the Chanticleer myth, but with, like, country music, like Elvis stuff. It's so weird. 502, like, that one was the one I saw, like, way before I saw any of the other American Tail movies. It was my childhood staple. It's only gotten weirder as I've gotten older. I rewatched it a couple years ago with somebody who was, again, watching, like, all of the Don Bluth sequels. And the only one that I ended up seeing, like, all of in that was the American Tail sequels. And I remember specifically, like, getting trailers for the third one as a kid, and watching a lot of the second one, which has a racism problem, but it also has a super bizarre thing with, like, the main villain is, like, a cat who is tricking people into coming out and settling the West so they can build a whole town for, like, the rich cats that live there. Like, they can perform for them, work for them, and eventually be eaten by them. But, like, the main character's older sister, who's maybe, like, 13, I think, becomes, like, a dancer, and the main villain, like, falls in love with her. It's so weird. I would say, why is it like that, but it's mostly just weird. Also, it's just... the final scene with the villain is all you need to watch. I haven't seen Thumbelina, but I know it's pretty bad. I also haven't seen A Troll in Central Park, but, like, same hat. Land Before Time 2, again, I need to watch it. Pebble and the Penguin is bad. I watched it several times as a kid, but it's almost hypnotic for small children, I think. Like, I rewatched a large chunk of it as an adult with, like, my younger cousin, because he had gotten caught on with it, but, like, it's very melodic, it moves very weird, but it's just kind of ugly and kind of super boring. Land Before Time 2, childhood, or 3 or whatever, childhood staple, stayed that way. All Dogs Go to Heaven 2 is mid. It's not good, but it's got charm. Journey Through the Mists, childhood staple, kind of stayed that way. Anastasia, I have to acknowledge, is good, but I don't love it. I'm gonna say it's mid. Like, sorry. Sorry, Anastasia. You're only okay. Mysterious Island is good stuff. American Tail 4 is bad. Like, I thought it was, like, pretty bad. I will stand by, like, weirdly enough, every American Tail movie has something very important to say about, like, 1800s America. And, like, issues it had. Like, the first one is all about, like, you know, immigration and stuff. The second one is about, you know, being taken advantage of as, you know, disenfranchised people. The third one's about the treatment of Native Americans and police brutality. And the fourth one is about honesty in the news. It's really weird, but, like, that one's the worst one by far. I've not seen a full All Dogs Go to Heaven Christmas Carol. It's kind of strange. Secret of Source Rock was mid. Nim 2 is bafflingly bad, again. It's so strange. I guess if you're into pet play, it's the movie for you, though. Talk's alright. I'm putting it in Why Is It Like That purely for the big transformation sequence song. It's one of those things that sticks in my brain forever. I'm always gonna think it's super, super weird, and yet so fascinating. American Tail 3, that's the one I got all the trailers for. It was alright. It was mid. Titan A is also mid. Like, that's definitely Don Bluth's most adult film. I think it's also the last one he made before he was like, alright, fuck this. It's got, like, a lot of weird, like, the plot is weird, it's got a lot of weird CGI in it, it's oddly violent. I just remember thinking it was okay, though. Stone a Cold Fire, childhood staple, stayed that way. Big Freeze, childhood staple, that one, it's bad. Mid. Tiny Sauruses, mid. The age I was when these movies came out is showing. Great Day of the Flyers, I don't even remember this one. I'm gonna say mid. And I don't know what this one is. I know there's like 2 that came out after I stopped watching them. And that's the Don Bluth ranking. Here we go. Now for something different that's not animated movies. What was the first one I did? Yeah, it was animated movies. I'm not very smart tonight. The one that's not animated movies, we're looking at pet reptiles. Like, reptiles and amphibians. What do you think's like my opinions on what's best for a pet? Some of these I will not quite be able to identify right off the get-go, but a vast majority of them I will. And this is a personal opinion. These are dream animals that I would want or that I already own. Ones that would be difficult for me to own or technically are illegal because I'm in Florida. There's ones that if somebody was like, hey, can you take care of this thing? Like, I'm giving you this animal, please watch over it. I would take it in. There's ones that just aren't my style. There's ones that I don't want to take care of at all. And there's ones that I just firmly think you shouldn't own. So starting with a ball python, I don't want it. I have a personal beef with ball pythons in that they are absolutely 100% flooding the market in a lot of places for pets. I think there's too many of them. I think they're sold as an animal that is, like, easy as a starter reptile, but they are deceptively, like, picky. They're really hard to get to eat sometimes. Like, they can be fussy. They're just not for me. And I think they're oversaturating the market, and it's not good for them or, you know, us. Also, there's, like, a lot of really pretty ones that have, like, morphs that give them serious neurological issues, and I think when you hit that point with, like, a pet with a reptile in the trade, then somebody's got to do something. Like, it's just not a good look. This is a bearded dragon. They are not my favorite, but I think they're super cute. I got to help take care of one that my roommate adopted back when I lived in Tennessee, and his name was PogChamp, and I adored him. But they're not my favorite as far as, like, pet reptiles go, and this one was given to us for free. But I would take one. I got no beef with beardies. They're just not my favorites. I own a blue-tongued skink. It is a Indonesian blue-tongued skink and not a northern, but I think they're, like, super dopey, cute little animals, and I love them. I love my boy named Ludo. That's a green iguana. I don't want to take care of this thing. I know there are people who can and who do, but, like, they are large and territorial, and they can be aggressive and bitey, and they need a ton of fresh greens, and I don't want to take care of one. I'd be open to a banana pectinata, which are known for being a little friendlier and are, like, smaller, but I don't want a green iguana. Tegu, again, if I didn't live in Florida, I used to own a red tegu. Her name was Merlot, and she had some health issues, but, like, she was such a beautiful animal, and I loved her. She was so intelligent, and I think it'd be lovely to have another one, but I live in Florida. I don't want to take care of an axolotl. Like, most of the amphibians on this list are going to end up in there, because I want something I can handle. And, you know, like, something, like, with really high humidity needs, and you have to be very careful with handling, is not for me. We own a Cresty. His name is Boba. He's so cute and dumb, and I love him. We also own a corn snake. This is technically the second corn snake I've ever owned. Our corn snake is a cute little gray guy named Piero, but the first one I had was a Killer Extreme Reverso Kitty, which is the coolest morph name I've ever heard, named Nosy, and, like, I'm a little skittish with snakes, in general, after the experiences I had owning a rainbow boa who didn't like me very much, and that wasn't her fault, but I am skittish about getting tagged now. Yeah, Boba and Pierre are your babies, honey. They're technically both my husband's pets, but, like, I'm their other parent. And I love them. Red-eared slider. You shouldn't own this. They're so invasive. Like, they're technically not bad animals. There's nothing wrong with them. But they're so invasive everywhere, and people keep free releasing them. Don't own one. Don't buy one. Just don't do it. Milk frogs. Not for me. Super cute. Love how they look. Not for me. King snake. This would be an if it needed a home thing. I had a king snake for a very short amount of time. It was a baby that unfortunately did not live very long after I picked him up, and I would be willing to get another one. But I'm still currently skittish with snakes, and I'll have to work through that on my own time. But I think they're lovely animals, especially Brooks king snakes. Green and, this is a green, an emerald tree skink. Not for me. They're really pretty, but, they're kind of zippy. As far as I know, they're also pretty small, and animals that are a lot on the smaller end are also not great for me, because like I said, I want to be able to confidently hold a pet that I have, or like interact with and pet them. So I've heard emerald tree skinks are lovely animals, well behaved, like incredible. Not for me. I don't want to take care of a frilled lizard. I've heard they're pretty difficult to care for, and also really hard to get wild caught, or not wild caught. You want one cat that's captive bred, and I just don't think they're for me. And they're, like, the climbing requirements is not something I really want to have to deal with. Pac-Man frogs are so cute, and they come in such wonderful, wonderful colors. I think if somebody really needed a home for one, maybe. But generally, probably not, but maybe. Like, you should look up some of the colors these things come in, honey. They're so, so fun. So that's a California king. This is a milk snake. They're Pac-Man frogs. Milk snakes are not for me. I think they have a tendency to be escape artists even more than some of the other snakes, is the impression I've been given of them. And the red and black banding is very cool, but not for me. I don't know what kind of tortoise this is. I don't know what kind of the tortoise this is, but let's see. Yeah, I just genuinely don't know. I think most tortoises are like, if it needed a home, I'd be willing to take care of a tortoise. They're cool animals. I think they're pretty cute. Red-tailed boa, not for me. Again, it's the snake skittishness. Pac-Man frogs are like hypnotoads. Yeah. The red-tailed boas, I've heard they're like large and pretty. I know they're large. I've heard they're pretty nice, but Redfoot tortoise is another, like, if it needed a home. They're cute. This is also like, if I had a yard, like, it'd be easier. Australian water dragons, I don't want to take care of it. Like, I think they're another one that's like hard to get captive bred. I think they're like endangered in their own habitat, or at least threatened. I don't want that. Let it live where it needs to live. This is a huge monitor lizard. I don't know which kind. I think it might be a blackthroat monitor by the looks of some of the other stuff on this list. And I don't want to take care of that thing. They're fucking huge. I also, on that matter, don't want to take care of a Burmese python. In fact, I don't think most domestic pet owners should have one. You need to have at least 2 or 3 people to even handle an adult one. They need a lot of space and a lot of food, and I think they're cool animals. They're really chill. But I don't think you should have one generally, unless you're like a professional. Rainbow boas, I've learned, are not for me. Mine was very spicy, very much wanted to bite, and that wasn't her fault. She just wasn't socialized super well. She was kind of aggressive. Again, it's not her fault. know this guy. I think... I don't know this guy. He's... I've seen them. I can't remember what they're called. I don't want a day gecko. They're small, they're fast, they're delicate. They're just all of the things I don't want in a reptile. We have owned a leopard gecko, and I would like another one. They're sweet. Generally, turtles are not for me. That's a musk turtle, I think, or a stink pot turtle, and I think they're really cute, but not for me. What with the water requirements. I'm a simple man. That, I believe, is a Nile monitor. Looking at the other animals on this list. Yeah, I think that's a Nile monitor, and I'm gonna say you shouldn't own this. Or, I don't want to take care of this thing. People can take care of it, they're not as invasive, and they're just like, again, like huge care requirements. Huge potential of very much hurting you. I don't want to take care of any chameleons. I think they're really pretty, but I know how delicate they are. Those things break like glass. Pixie frog. It's a frog, so it's not for me. They're also fucking massive. I love them as animals because they're so scary. Like, those are the violentest little frogs out there, except they're the size of like a big hamburger. And I just don't want to deal with that. Same with the red-eyed tree frog. I don't want to care for a savanna monitor. The first one I ever had was a savanna. The first reptile I ever had was a savanna monitor, and they're lovely, but like their diet is so specific, and they're so big, and they're not very nice, and like I think monitors are some of my favorite lizards, like crocodilians and monitors, but I just have to accept that for a large part I wouldn't be capable of caring for them the way they would need to be cared for. I don't want a tokay gecko. They're mean as hell. They bite and they scream and they hate each other. If somebody really needed to rehome a tiger salamander, I'd take it, because they're really cool. And as far as I can tell, they spend most of their time just in the wet dirt, not looking at you. But like, they're so cool. I would be willing to take care of one. Don't want a chameleon. Hognoses are cute. That's an if it needed a home thing. I don't really want to take care of a hognose, but like, they're cute animals. Like, everyone I've interacted with has been the dopey little sweetheart. You shouldn't own an alligator. Don't buy an alligator. I don't want an alligator. Nobody should want an alligator. Don't own one. They don't make good pets. That is an Ackie monitor, I think? Or like, whatever the really small ones are. Or it might be, I don't know. A lot of monitors are kind of hard to tell apart when they're pictures this small. Those are, I know it's one of the smaller ones though. This one's a not for me animal. But like, that's just how certain monitors are. Like, they're one of the best monitors to own, but like, I don't want one. If I had the means to take care of an alligator snapping turtle, though, I would, because they don't swim around a lot like other turtles. They just kind of sit there. That's an alligator snapper, and they're so cool. And I would be willing to just throw stuff in there for it. I don't want a bull snake. Bull snake's pretty mean. Same goes for carpet pythons. Like, the snake skittishness and the bitiness, I'm not really interested in it. I don't know what these guys are, but they're tiny, and I don't want to take care of them. I guess I'll put them in not for me. I'll upgrade bull snake to not for me, but like, I really don't want that carpet python. I still don't know what this thing is. I'm just gonna put it in not for me because it seems like one of those smaller, zippier ones. Oh, the colored lizards. I think that's like, they're a little too small. They're really beautiful animals though. I used to know someone in like a Facebook group who bred them and they were just absolutely fucking beautiful. Prettiest animals out there, but I don't think they're for me. False water cobra is another one that is not for me. Again, the skittishness. Don't own an anaconda. Again, you shouldn't own this thing. I don't want to take care of anoles. They're super invasive. They're too small to handle. Like, I don't want it. I do want a gargoyle gecko, though. They're super cute. Kenyan sand boas are not for me. It's not a skittish thing. They're, like, really dopey. I just think they're not... If I'm gonna get a snake like that, it's gonna be a rosy boa, which I see them a little later on the list. I do want a lychee. I know some of them can be kind of bad-tempered, but, like, I think I could handle it. They're such cool, such cool animals. If I could afford it, like, I'm gonna bump it down to, like, if I had the means, because they're, like, $1,000 a piece, and I don't have that kind of fucking money. They're like, eh. This is some kind of Euroma sticks, and I think they're cool. I like the Euroma sticks. I want one. They're like cooler bearded dragons to me, and I think they're neat. I'm not into the crocodile geckos, the red-eye crocodile geckos. I think they're cool though. I would take care of a rhino iguana if it needed a home. But I know those things live fucking forever, but they're also, like, they don't have the reputation that green iguanas do. I don't want a turtle. I don't really want a sulcata tortoise. I would be worried about trying to, like, keep it contained. I don't want a mossy tree frog. I would be willing to take care of a, one of those geckos. I've forgotten its name. Oh, that's a black throat monitor. So, yeah, I still don't want to take care of that. These guys, definitely not. Cuvier's dwarf caimans. If I didn't live in Florida, if I had the means to give this thing like a huge, cool terrarium, like with live plants and like a water feature. If I was like super rich, I would want one because they're some of the coolest fucking looking animals. I wouldn't get to interact with it much, but if I'm that stupid rich, I don't care. I would just want it to live the best little life it could. Gidgee skinks are cute. I would be willing to give one a home if it needed it, but they're not on my list. I don't want to take care of a green tree monitor. And I definitely don't want to take care of an emerald tree boa. I don't want that fucker to bite me. Have you seen their skulls? Their teeth are insane. The star tortoise is in the same boat as, like, if somebody really needed to find a home for one, I would take it. I don't want to take care of a poison dart frog. I will take a Kenyan sand boa, or not a Kenyan sand boa, a rosy boa though, because they're so cute, and they're slightly more above ground versions of the Kenyan sand boas. I don't want a reticulated python. Absolutely not. They are also huge and aggressive. Like, in fact, I am gonna slip that into, like, you shouldn't own this territory, because, like, again, massively invasive, huge. It's one of those things where I just don't think, like, a lot of people could take good care of them, and that's a little bit of, like, hypocrisy on my end, because I've got the Cuvier's dwarf caiman on there. Like, I don't think most people should own one of those. But they also aren't, like, they can send you to the hospital, but they're probably not going to, but they're unlikely to kill you. And, like, while you're trying to handle them, and also they're not wicked invasive. Black-headed python is not for me. You shouldn't own a mangrove monitor. They are the size of like a huge water monitor. They've got the big chunky African monitor head. And they will jump out of trees. They live in trees, and I don't think you should own one. I'm gonna be honest, some of these pythons I can't really tell apart. And boas. This long-tail lizard, I think it is. They're one of the fast little ones. I think this is a BCI. I think this is like a common, also I'm realizing that when I put in there, that's a white-headed python probably. I can't see his face. Oh wait, that's his face. I don't know. White-lip python? Because this is the black-headed python that goes in the same boat. BCI is... I'm skittish around them. They're really big. But I'd be more willing to take one on than any other big snake. So, like, if it really needed a home, I guess. Gila monster. Another one where the answer is, you probably shouldn't own this. It's a hot species. You need a license to get it. But it's one of those of, like, if I had the means, if I could get the license, I would want it. It's the only hot species I would want. But they're like, they're not prone to biting. They're pretty dopey. They're cool. Earless monitors are a hard one. Oh wait, no, I think that's a beaded lizard, not an earless monitor. Yeah, no, that's a beaded lizard. You should know this. It would fall in the same boat as a Gila monster for me, except I'm biased, and I think Gila monsters are prettier. Most people shouldn't own a hot species. Pancake tortoise. Those guys are fun. They're another if it needed a home one. Like, look at that thing. It's flat. This is some kind of python. It's a not for me. This is a scaleless rat snake. And I don't want to take care of one. I don't have a thing against scaleless rat snakes the way I do with, like, scaleless, like, beardies. But they're a lot less, but they do retain their belly scales, and they're a lot less likely to get hurt the way, like, a scaleless lizard would be, because they have claws. But I don't want one. I'm worried about their sheds being weird. That's some kind of python or boa. I don't want it. I'm not sure what kind of monitor this is, but it's a big one. So it's gonna go in a, like, I don't want to take care of it. Cane toad. Massively invasive, but not here. But it is a big frog, and I don't want to take care of it. Same for these turtles. They're super cute. And those are the ones, one of the fully aquatic turtles. And I don't want to deal with that. Like, especially not. Like, they're super cute. But I've seen how big those fuckers get. I do like, fire skinks. And if one needed a home, I'd take it. They're not my favorite. I've got my list of dream skinks, because skinks are my favorites, but, you know. Frilled dragons are a not-for-me species. Same reason as a lot of the other smaller, faster, like, climbing ones. I think this is a Texas rat snake. Those are kind of neat, but, again, eh. I don't know what this guy is. It's some kind of rat snake, so no, but, yeah. I think this is a, this is, like, a Crebo, I think? Oh, that's the white-lip python. Anyway, not for me. I think this is a Crebo. Those are some of the biggest colubrids around. And they're cool, but they'll also, like, fling poop, like, 10 feet, and I don't want to take care of that. This is another turtle. I don't want to take care of it. Cute snake, not for me. The little vine snakes, I don't know what that is, genuinely. I don't know this guy, but I think it's like a spiny tail. Something. Cuban false chameleons are I want one. They're slow. They're kind of funny. Like, they're the only anole that I would want. Speaking of which, I don't want a Cuban night anole. Like, definitely not, because I'm in Florida and they're super invasive, but also just not in general. House geckos are too small. I'm so scared for them all the time. White street frogs are a frog. Rat snake, eh. That's another tortoise. Alligator lizards are not for me. Same boat as a lot of the other guys, but like, they're cool. They're definitely cool. Tomato frogs. If we wanted a house gecko, we'd keep one of the ones that just wander in. Same with the anoles. Yeah. Welcome to Florida, where the anoles and the geckos are free. And if I really wanted it to be so, would be the alligators. Tomato frogs are super cute. They're small. I think they technically fall under the Pac-Man frog rule, because, like, look at that. I want to eat it. I wouldn't, but I want to. The tricolor hognoses, not for me. They're bigger and they're cooler, but, like, they're still very, I've heard they're, like, a lot shorter lived than the other hognoses, too. I think that's a Solomon Island ground boa. That's a not for me. I really don't want to take care of the tree monitors. Like, I know I put the green tree monitor there, but the blue tree monitors are even bigger. They're absolutely gorgeous animals, but no thanks. Leaf-tail gecko is, I don't think that's a for me. They look too delicate. That's a salamander. I don't want to take care of that. I don't even know this guy, but no thanks. And I've seen these geckos. I don't know what they're called, but they're super duper tiny, and I don't want to take care of that. I'm afraid it'll explode if I touch it wrong or something. So, what do you think of my reptile ranking, honey? And what do you think of the specifically if it needed a home group? Only disagreement is the fire skink, but only because you want one. That is fair. We will get you a fire skink someday. Alright. We're getting into Pokemon. It's the legendary and mythical Pokemon. Also, you can't read the list because it's too tiny on your screen. I'm sorry. Just as a heads up. Legendary and mythical Pokemon tier list. This is... so the tiers here are top of the line demigod animal. A funny little guy, also applies to the cool ones. It's alright, this thing is mid. Blocked and reported, I think it's weird, and I don't know this man. Because I skipped a couple of Pokemon generations, and so there are ones that, like, I don't know very much about. And I don't feel capable of judging them on those merits. Like, I need to know at least a little bit about the thing I'm ranking. I think Arceus is alright. Like, God of Gods in the Pokemon world, he's okay. Like, I don't think his design is great, but it's cool. I think the fact that he's supposed to be like a hand is cool. But I think he's the same with a lot of with some of the other Gen 4 legendaries. I think he's just a little bit too lumpy in a weird way. Articuno's really mid. It's just a bird. Like, it's a pretty bird, but it's just a bird. The Azelf and the other ones, the little psychic baby goblins, I think they're alright. I don't hate them. I think looking for them is fun in the, I have grown very fond of, I've grown very fond of... Oh, honey, I forgot his name suddenly, and I feel so bad about it. But I've grown very fond of him. I think he's cool. Mostly because he's your favorite of the funny guys. No, this guy. You're the clown. Blacephalon, that's it. I have grown fond of Blacephalon. He's a fun clown. Blocked and reported on Buzzwole. I don't like that thing. It's too beefy. Calyrex is a funny little guy. So, specifically the gens that I like. You're doing other things and cannot see these tiny guys. That's fair. Specifically the gens I skipped were, like, Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon and, Sword and Shield. So, I don't know most of the Ultra Beasts. I'm not a fan of them, but, like... So most of those I don't know, but I'm blocking and reporting, Buzzwole. You saw the red thing, Buzzwole, and thought you meant the one that was the Deathbird. Now, I know Yveltal. I like Celebi. It's cute. It's a good, funny little guy. I don't know this thing. This one's mid. It's just a fish. If it's this one, like the, snow leopard with fangs, like, if its fangs matched, I would like it better, but they don't. It looks kind of weird. So I'm putting it in mid. Cobalion is alright. Like, I'm real picky about Pokemon. And my opinions are weird as far as I can tell, but, like, it's okay. I like its funny little collar and its big, like, cravat. Cosmog, when it's, like, I don't know much about it. I think it's kind of cute in, like, not in its, when it's just a little cloud. Cresselia is very mid to me. I like Darkrai. Darkrai's one of my favorites. I think that, see, it's bad that I can't even remember its name. The alien virus. I think it's alright. Dialga is also, like, Deoxys, that's it. I don't know her. Deoncé, I think is her name. Dialga's okay. It's mid. Like, it could be a lot cooler for what it is. Blocked and reported. Entei is great. I love Entei. I'm biased by the movie with Entei in it. I don't know Eternatus. I know its name, I don't know it. I think Genesect is really mid. I never got its appeal. Big fan of Giratina. I think the ice horse is really stupid looking. Like, just the hooves. You could do a lot better shape language on this thing. Genesect is what if we made a Pokemon on the concept of genocide. That's fair. Genesect looks, to me, is one of those Pokemon that looks like it's halfway into being a Digimon. I like Groudon. I enjoy Groudon's design quite a bit, and it's also from one of my favorite gens. Guzzlord is funny. It just screams. I know Heatran, but I don't know Heatran. Ho-Oh's alright. Hoopa is a funny little guy. I love Jirachi. I'm so fond of Jirachi. I don't know you, paper guy. Keldeo is a funny little guy. He's cute. I vastly prefer Koraidon over Miraidon, but I still think it's only just okay. The little bear cub one, I don't know. Kyogre is alright. I don't like that it has fingers. Kyurem is mid. Like, in a gen with some pretty cool designs, I think Kyurem's not very impressive or intimidating. I think the last time I played that gen, I did go out of my way to catch it, though. Blocked and reported all of the little, like, cloud guys. Fun fact about Heatran is that it's the only legendary that can be either male or female, I think. Yeah, I think so. I think this one, like, the one from Legends Arceus that's, like, the romance girly version of the 3 cloud guys, like, I'd respect if it was genderless, but, like, I feel like they might have made it a girl. I don't know. I'm talking out my ass a little bit. I like Latias and Latios. They're funny little guys. Actually, I'm gonna put them in, like, top tier. Okay, Latios goes in funny little guy. Like, he goes in, it's alright, but I love Latias. I'm also, like, biased by their movie. I think Lugia is cool. It's pretty cool. I also think that that Lunala is pretty cool. Magearna, don't know you. Pink Jin Pokemon is 100% female. All the other Jin are 100% male. Okay, there we go. I don't like that. Manaphy and Fione are knockoff Jirachis to me. I don't like them. I think they're dumb. Heatran is 50-50 male-female. Good for Heatran. I think Marshadow is cute. Don't know shit about it, but I think it's cute. Blocked and reported on Meltan and Melmetal. I think they're dumb. I know they were like a Pokemon Go exclusive, but I just don't think they look good. Melametal is alright. I think Azelf out of the 3, like, little psychic babies, as the Drawfee team called them, is the best one. The other 2 are pretty mid. Mew is great. Mew is top tier. Mewtwo is also super cool, but it's not top tier for me. The cute little naked cat's gonna beat it out, sorry. Miraidon is alright. Moltres, the original version, is mid. It's a bird that's on fire. I don't know this guy. I don't know Necrozoma. Neoligo, I think is this one's name, the little jellyfish, and it's like, it's alright. Like, its design, I've heard I know it's got like some story implications, and I think that's kind of neat. Palkia is mid. The cockroach fashionista is kind of funny to me. I think it's alright. Fione, again, mid. I don't know this little baby. Raikou is pretty cool. Not my favorite, but pretty cool. So is Rayquaza. Like, Rayquaza is a Godzilla monster to me, in the best way. I think it's alright. Most of the Reggies are super mid to me. I don't know the Dragon and Electric ones. Although, I don't know the Electric one. I think the Dragon one is the coolest looking out of them. Regigigas is also alright. Regirock, Registeel, Regice are all mid. I like their noises, but they really don't have like any personality. I've forgotten Zekrom and the other one for the black and white, like box, like legendaries, Regiram, or Reshiram. Reshiram is my favorite of those, like, 3. He's cool. I specifically bought Black so I could get Reshiram, and then when Black 2 came out, I got that one because I hoped I would still get the one that was mostly Reshiram, and I ended up with the one that was mostly Zekrom, and I was like, damn it. I think Shaman's, like, Sky form is okay, but original Shaman is top tier. It's so fucking cute. I think it's also, like, one of the legendaries that looks most like it can just be a regular Pokemon. There are, like, several that have that going on, but I think, like, Shaman the most. Type Null is actually kind of cool looking, or like Silvally is actually pretty cool looking, so like, I'll take it. Solgaleo is alright. The Ghost Horse is pretty cool. I don't know, this rocks. Stakataka, I think. I love Suicune. I don't know, like, any of the Tapus. Like, sorry, sorry to, Sun and Moon. You mean so little to me. I think that, the, like, beefy one out of the 3 Musketeers, the one that looks like a bull, is pretty mid. Blocked and reported on the Jin. The moose with a bowl on its head is mid. It's funny, but it's mid. Blocked and reported. Type Null is mid. It looks way cooler when it takes its stupid hat off. I know it's not its fault it's wearing the hat. Legendary Bear, I don't know you. The flying baby that's blonde is mid. Victini is cute. It's a funny little guy. I remember, like, that was one of the ones that I actually, like, went to GameStop so I could get it with my mom. Same for, like, Celebi when Heart Gold and Soul Silver without. I like Virizion. Goes in the same, like, group as Keldeo as me for funny little guy who is also cool. I don't know you. Fire, water type. The slug, or like the leaf slug is alright. Xerneas is alright. It's kinda neat. Xurkitree, I think is this one's name. I don't know it, but it's also alright, like, kinda neat looking. Yeah, I know. I said today I'd start getting in bed by 10, but then I was doing this. How long have I been live for? 2.5 hours. Okay. I'm gonna do, like, at least one more list after this one. And then I'm gonna call it, and we'll do the rest, like, tomorrow night or something. Yveltal is alright. I saw somebody at one point said it looked like a bunch of bacon, and I think that's really funny. The Sword and Shield Wolves. Oh, these are their, like, not, like, hanging out designs. I like the Sword Wolf better than the, Shield Dog. I think the Shield Dog looks pretty dumb once it's got the whole shield thing. That's not its fault, but, you know. But I think the Sword Dog is cool. Original Zapdos is okay. I don't know you. Evil Monkey. I know the furry bait cat is, like, it's still kind of cool, though. Zekrom is mid. Zygarde, I think is that one. It's also mid. Like, it could stand to be cooler. Redesign, like Galarian Articuno is kind of cool. It's alright. I really like the Galarian Moltres and Zapdos, though. They're such good designs. They're so cool. So, that's my legendary and mythical Pokemon. I think after this... Okay. I have the... I have a list of, like, Pokemon starters up next. But I think I might do one of the food ones next. Because, like, this whole section is all food ones. So I'm going to close the ones I've already done. And I'm going to go on to fast food desserts. That's one I saved. I thought it'd be funny. So, fast food desserts. We've got handed over. Sometimes I desire a little treat. If it's free, sometimes... Oh, could we maybe wrap it up so we can have dinner? Okay, you want me to do something shorter than this one? I wanted to do one more. Let's see. I'm gonna rate candy bars real quick. Simple. There's not a lot of them. There's fit for a king size. I'll have a little one. Like, I just want a little. If it's free, I guess, like, I'm not gonna turn down a lot of free candy. There's ones that are just not very good, and Snickers hell, where the Snickers goes. I hate Snickers. 100 grams I like, but I don't want like a full size one. I'll have a little one. Same for Baby Ruths. Same for Almond Joys, and Butterfingers. Like, I'm not that picky. Charleston Chew, I've only had the small ones. I'd take one if it was free. It's alright. It's just this really marshmallowy nougat and nothing else. I'll take a little Crunch Bar. I guess I'd take a free Heath Bar. The older I've gotten, the less I have liked just Hershey's. Like, having found out about the chemical that makes them taste like spoiled milk, like, and being aware of it, and also having had better chocolate, I'm like, oh, yeah, this shit kind of sucks. I'll eat a Hershey's almond, and I'll eat, like, a Kisses, or, like, tiny Hershey bars, I guess, but, like, a full-size one, like Hershey's chocolate in general is just bad. Kit Kats they're alright. I'll take a little one. I don't want a huge one. Same for Crackles. Like, that's free, I guess. I like a Milky Way, but I don't want a lot. Like, I'll be honest, a lot of chocolate makes me feel really sick. But, like, I love chocolate. Mr. Good Bars, I'll have a little one. Three Musketeers, I'll have a little one. Payday Bars is not very good. I've tried to let them grow on me. I don't know what that makes this different from, like, the regular Snickers. Let me check, like... Oop. That one is the Snickers Almond. No. Actually, you go in Snickers hell. Take 5, I like those a lot. They're also not too big. What is this dark variant? I guess that might just be a dark chocolate one. That sounds alright. I'd eat that. Alright, you get out of here. Banned. no shit in here. Toblerones. I like the Toblerones that have, like, raisins and stuff in them. I'm a weirdo who likes, you know, the candy bars that have, like, chocolate and raisins and nuts. I'll have a little Toblerone. I'll also have a little Twix. I like a Twix. I will eat a whole Whatchamacallit bar. Those are dangerous. Wonka bars, I only had one once. And they were, like... I had one because I was so curious, because, like, obviously you see, like, the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or, like, you know, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, like, movie, and you're like, wow, these must be, like, really great, and it was just graham cracker. It was just graham cracker and chocolate. It wasn't very good. I was at a mall with my friends, and I thought it was so mid. Mounds are just Almond Joys, but worse. And, I'll have a little Milky Way. I love a Milky Way. Okay. That is our tier lists for tonight. I will be doing more later. Ones that are mostly food related and have a lot less stuff on them. But I want to say thank you for coming. This was a lot of fun. It was a chance for me to just kind of ramble and stream a little something. So thank you for coming in. And I might finish this up tomorrow. So thank you for stopping by. It's been fun. Love you. Sorry, I was gonna just say love you because I only know one person. I know only one person's watching and it's my husband, but like, I love y'all. Anyway, thank you, bye.